Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be looking at the future of healthcare.
Okay.
And, all of you listeners are all about getting to the heart of the matter.
Right.
So we have an excerpt from a book that really gets into some cutting-edge advancements
Yeah.
in genetics and biotech and AI.
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
So get ready for personalized treatments and how we can think about prevention in a whole new way, and maybe even extending our lifespans.
It's really exciting stuff because it feels like we're finally moving beyond just treating symptoms.
Yeah,
And we're starting to actually unravel the mysteries of disease at a molecular level.
totally. And a perfect example is the story of mRNA vaccines.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how quickly those COVID-19 vaccines were developed?
I do.
It turns out they weren't just a pandemic stopgap measure.
Right.
They actually opened up a whole new world of medical possibilities.
Absolutely. And what's so fascinating is that Moderna designed their COVID-19 vaccine in just 2 days.
2 days.
2 days. It's incredible.
That's wild.
It was possible because of decades of research on mRNA technology.
Yeah.
And also they had the digital genome sequence of the virus readily available. So they were able to just essentially plug and play with the information and accelerate the development process in ways that we just hadn't seen before.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So beyond COVID-19, what else is on the horizon for mRNA vaccines?
Well, think big.
Okay.
Cancer, HIV, malaria, there are even trials looking at ways to use mRNA to reduce lactose intolerance.
Wow.
The basic idea is to use synthetic RNA to deliver instructions to our cells, and this triggers the immune system, or it can correct biological processes.
Right.
It's almost like having these tiny programmable robots working inside our bodies.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And all this talk about personalized solutions makes me think about precision medicine.
Uh-huh.
The book digs into how treatments are being tailored to each individual's unique biology.
Yeah, precision medicine is a total game changer because it moves away from this one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
Treatments can be designed specifically for you and your unique genetic makeup.
Okay.
But to achieve this, we need a ton of data.
Yeah.
Mountains of data.
Yeah.
And that's where big data and machine learning come in,
Makes sense.
to analyze it all and make sense of it.
So let's talk data then.
Okay?
Genome sequencing plays a huge role here.
It does.
And I was blown away by how much the cost of sequencing has come down.
Yeah.
The first human genome cost billions of dollars to sequence.
Right.
But now it's a fraction of that price.
It's been a dramatic drop in cost.
Yeah.
From a whopping $2.7 billion down to as little as $100 today.
Wow, that's like comparing the price of a private jet to a movie ticket.
Exactly. And this incredible reduction in cost is opening doors for ambitious projects.
Like what?
Well, like Genomics England.
Okay.
They're aiming to make whole genome sequencing a routine part of healthcare through the National Health Service.
Wow.
So imagine having your entire genetic makeup analyzed as part of your regular healthcare plan.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's a huge step forward.
So all of this data is leading to a much deeper understanding of our bodies. And the book mentions something called systems biology.
Yeah.
Can you break that down for us?
Sure. So what's so fascinating about a systems biology is that it moves beyond just looking at single genes in isolation.
Uh-huh.
It's about understanding the complex interplay of all these various systems in our bodies.
Like what kind of systems?
Well, our genes, our proteins, even the microbiome,
Oh, wow.
and how these intricate systems impact our health and disease.
So it's like this massively complex puzzle that we're trying to put together.
Yeah, it is a complex puzzle, but we're getting better at piecing it together.
How?
Well, there are initiatives like the Human Cell Atlas.
Okay.
They're working to map all the cells in the human body.
All of them.
All of them, which would give us this incredibly detailed picture of what's going on.
That's wild.
And AI is proving to be a really crucial tool here.
How so?
Well, it helped us analyze this massive amount of data and untangle all the intricate web of interactions.
So it's like having an AI detective by our side,
I love that analogy.
helping us solve the mystery of human biology.
Exactly. And speaking of AI playing detective,
Yeah,
AI is also making waves in other areas of healthcare, like radiology.
it is.
And I was so surprised to learn that AI can now diagnose some cancers as accurately as trained radiologists.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
It is.
So it's not about replacing radiologists,
Right.
but it's about giving them an additional set of incredibly sharp eyes.
I see.
AI can catch tiny details that might be missed by the human eye, and that leads to earlier and more effective treatment.
That makes sense.
Plus, think about all the time saved.
Oh, yeah.
AI can handle the more routine tasks. And that frees up radiologists to focus on the more complex cases and also to spend more time with their patients.
So the AI is a powerful tool, but it's enhancing human capabilities rather than replacing them.
Exactly. And we're also seeing applications beyond just diagnosis.
Like what?
Well, think about predicting breast cancer risk or analyzing brain tumors in real time during surgery.
Wow.
And so much more.
It seems like the possibilities are endless.
They really are constantly expanding.
So AI is revolutionizing healthcare in so many ways. And another area that has always fascinated me is gene therapy.
Yeah.
Like the idea of fixing faulty genes directly.
It sounds like science fiction.
It does.
But while gene therapy has encountered some setbacks over the years,
Yeah.
it's making a powerful comeback.
So there were like periods of doubt and skepticism.
There were, especially after some early tragedies.
Right.
But the advancements in gene editing technologies have just been incredible, and we've seen some amazing successes.
Like what?
Well, I remember reading about Victoria Gray, the sickle cell patient who experienced significant improvement after CRISPR gene therapy.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah, it really is.
So inspiring.
It's a great example of how gene therapy can truly change lives.
Yeah.
And there are two main approaches that are being used.
Okay.
One is called ex vivo, where the cells are modified outside the body and then reintroduced. And then there's in vivo, where the genes are edited directly inside the body.
So it's like you can either send your cells to a specialized repair shop or have a mobile repair unit come to you.
That's a great way to put it.
And each approach has its own advantages and disadvantages.
Definitely, it all depends on the situation.
Right.
Ex vivo is generally considered the safer option right now.
Okay.
But in vivo holds immense potential for treating conditions where direct access to the cells is challenging.
Makes sense.
So we're still in the early stages.
Yeah.
But the possibilities with gene therapy are incredibly exciting.
It really feels like we're on the verge of a whole new era of medicine.
We are.
It feels like we're on the verge of like a whole new era of medicine.
We are. And gene therapy is just one piece of the puzzle.
Right.
Regenerative medicine is another huge frontier.
Okay.
With its focus on rebuilding tissues and organs.
So that's where the 3D printed ear made from a patient's own cells comes in, right?
Yeah.
I saw a news report about that.
It's a great example of how far tissue engineering has come.
Yeah.
Scientists are creating skin graft, cartilage, and even experimenting with growing whole organs in the lab.
It's like having a biological spare parts factory.
It really is.
So we've got these powerful new tools like gene therapy and regenerative medicine.
Right.
But how do we make sure that they're used effectively?
Well, that's where pharmacogenomics comes in.
Okay, so making sure the right drug is given to the right person.
Exactly. And it's kind of surprising how many widely prescribed drugs only work for a small percentage of people.
Yeah, the book had a statistic about that.
It's a pretty sobering thought.
Yeah.
But pharmacogenomics uses genetic information to predict how individuals will respond to medications.
Okay.
So it's about minimizing those adverse reactions and making sure that patients receive the most effective treatments possible.
So personalized medicine at its finest.
Absolutely.
It all kind of paints this picture of a future where healthcare isn't just personalized, but it's predictive as well. Like we're moving from sick care to wellness.
That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Imagine continuous monitoring of your health. Data, AI-powered risk assessments, and personalized prevention plans.
Oh.
It's all about staying ahead of disease and maintaining well-being throughout your life.
This all sounds incredible, but I imagine there are some challenges.
Of course.
The book mentioned data privacy concerns and the need for ethical considerations.
Absolutely. We can't ignore the potential downsides.
Well,
we need to ensure data privacy, address any potential biases that might creep into the algorithms, and make sure that technology enhances human care and doesn't replace it.
So it's a balancing act.
It is.
But it seems like we're moving towards a future where healthcare is more proactive, more personalized, and potentially even life-extending.
That's the hope.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that we're still in those early stages.
Right.
There's a lot more research and development ahead.
And speaking of research and development, the book highlighted some amazing progress in how we're approaching cancer treatment.
Absolutely. AI and genomics are completely changing the game when it comes to cancer.
Yeah, it feels like a real paradigm shift.
It is. We're moving away from these broad categories like breast cancer or lung cancer and towards a more precise understanding of each individual tumor's genetic fingerprint.
So it's like personalized cancer treatment.
Exactly. By analyzing the DNA and RNA of cancer cells, we can identify the specific mutations that are driving the disease.
Okay.
And this allows us to tailor treatments, whether it's chemotherapy-targeted therapies or even immunotherapy,
Wow.
that are most likely to be effective for that specific cancer.
It's like having a personalized cancer fighting strategy.
Precisely.
And AI plays a big role in this as well,
A
right?
huge role. AI algorithms can analyze vast amounts of data from cancer genomes
Okay.
and identify patterns that humans might miss.
So it's like having an AI oncologist working alongside the human doctor.
Exactly.
Helping them make the best treatment decisions.
And this approach isn't limited to cancer either.
Oh, really?
No genetic testing is also revolutionizing newborn care.
How so?
Well, imagine every newborn having their genome sequenced shortly after birth.
Okay.
This information could be incredibly valuable in identifying potential health risks early on.
Right.
And that allows for early intervention and preventative measures.
So are there any ethical concerns about sequencing newborns?
Of course, we need to be very careful about how this information is used and ensure that it's not misused or misinterpreted.
Yeah.
But the potential benefits are huge.
Yeah.
We could identify genetic disorders early on, potentially prevent or mitigate their effects, and even tailor treatments based on the individual's genetic makeup.
It's about giving every child the best possible start in life.
Exactly.
But the book mentioned that not all genetic disorders are apparent at birth.
That's true. Some conditions might not manifest until later in life.
Right.
And that's why it's so important to think long-term about how we use this information.
So it's not just about sequencing genomes. It's about building a system that allows us to use that information effectively throughout a person's entire life.
Exactly. And that's where AI comes in again.
Okay.
AI algorithms can help us analyze that genetic data over time, identify emerging risks, and suggest those personalized interventions.
It's like having a personalized health advisor powered by AI.
Precisely. And this personalized approach extends beyond just identifying those genetic risks.
Okay.
It's also about understanding how our genes influence our response to medications.
Oh, right. Pharmacogenomics.
Exactly.
Using genetic information to predict how people will respond to different drugs.
Because our genes can actually influence how our bodies metabolize and process medications.
Oh, wow.
Pharmacogenomics can help us choose the right drug at the right dose for each patient.
So it's all about minimizing those side effects and maximizing effectiveness.
Exactly. Personalized medicine taken to the next level.
It's incredible, and the implications for healthcare are just huge.
We're moving towards a future where healthcare is more proactive, more preventative, and more personalized than ever before.
It's about empowering people to take control of their own health.
Yes.
And make informed decisions based on their unique genetic makeup.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is a whole different way of thinking about healthcare.
It is.
Anna, speaking of shifting perspectives, the book also talked about how these advancements could take us beyond just treating existing conditions and towards actually preventing them.
Yeah, that's the real game changer, isn't it?
It is.
Moving from sick care to true healthcare.
I like that.
Imagine a world where, all your health data is continuously monitored and analyzed by AI, creating personalized prevention plans just for you.
It's like having a virtual health guardian, always looking out for you.
Exactly.
It sounds almost too good to be true.
It does.
But how would that even work?
Well, think about wearable sensors that are tracking your activity and your vital signs.
Right.
Okay. Smart devices in your home, monitoring your environment.
Okay.
Regular blood tests that are analyzed for those earliest signs of disease.
Okay.
All of that data feeds into this comprehensive health profile that's constantly being updated and analyzed by AI.
Wow.
So it could identify those potential risks, years before they even become problems.
Right.
And then suggest, lifestyle changes, dietary adjustments, or even early medical interventions.
To prevent disease altogether.
Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing to think about what that could mean for people's lives.
It is.
But of course, the book also brought up some important questions about all that data collection.
Sure.
Like, what about privacy?
Right.
Data security and the potential for misuse.
You're absolutely right. Those are all critical considerations. We need to make sure that there are really strong safeguards in place to protect people's privacy and their control over their own data.
Yeah.
Transparency and trust are really paramount here.
Yeah.
It's not just about the technology itself. It's about using it ethically and responsibly.
It's definitely a balancing act.
It is.
And the book also even touched on the idea of digital twins.
Oh, yeah.
These virtual representations of ourselves that could be used to test treatments and predict health outcomes.
It's a fascinating concept.
It is.
With huge potential, Imagine being able to simulate how your body might respond to different medications or lifestyle changes.
Right.
All within this virtual model of yourself.
So no real-world risks involved.
Exactly. It could revolutionize how we develop new drugs and personalized treatments.
It sounds like science fiction.
It really does. But it raises some interesting questions, too.
Yeah, like what does it mean to have a digital copy of yourself out there?
Right.
Makes you think about identity and autonomy and control in a whole new way.
You've hit the nail on the head. As we explore these groundbreaking technologies, we need to think really carefully about their implications.
Yeah.
And make sure that they're used ethically and for the benefit of everyone. It's a conversation that needs to involve scientists, doctors, policymakers, and the public.
This has been an amazing journey.
It has.
We've explored some truly mind-blowing advancements from mRNA vaccines and AI-powered diagnostics to gene editing and regenerative medicine.
Right.
It's clear that the future of healthcare is being shaped right before our very eyes.
We're on the verge of a healthcare revolution. And while there are definitely challenges ahead, the potential benefits are immense.
Yeah.
We have this opportunity to create a future where healthcare is more personalized, more preventative, and maybe even life-extending.
It's a future worth working towards.
It is.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the future of healthcare, I want to leave you with this thought.
Oh.
All of these advancements that we've talked about, they're a testament to human ingenuity, compassion, and the desire to improve lives.
It's inspiring.
It's about using our knowledge and our tools to create a healthier and more equitable world for everyone.
And as we move forward, it's so important to approach these advancements with a healthy dose of curiosity and critical thinking.
Right.
We need to ensure that they benefit all of humanity.
Yeah.
And that we navigate the ethical challenges with wisdom and foresight.
That's a great point. A perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the future of healthcare.
It was my pleasure.
We hope you learned something new and are feeling inspired to keep exploring these fascinating topics.